Yo, that intro.
Oh, I you heard none of that. You heard none of that. Absolutely nothing. Another fail. You know me. I can't start the stream off unless there's at least a one fail. But yeah, that intro was crazy, right? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
always
the
better.
intro was dope.
It's always better when you have these moments by yourself and you realize you messed up, but there's nothing, absolutely nothing you can do about it. I make at least one of those mistakes, even if the whole stream seems to be going perfect. You could expect me to make one mistake toward the end. It's guaranteed. It's guaranteed. But I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad you asked. Thanks for asking. Um, it is a lot. It's been very busy, especially these last few weeks. Um, just trying to work on like life. Just it's I'm sure it's been it's just that season. So we need to take those weeks off for us as in individually. So for you viewers out there, uh, hope you can forgive us for not staying as consistent these last few weeks. But I guarantee you that we'll try to do a little bit more better in terms of future content. I can't guarantee that, but I can try. I can try to make that promise to you guys. All right. Oh, so I think there's a lot of things that we sat down, we talked about, like, do we want to talk about this? Do we want to talk about that? And I'm so glad that Hunter x Hunter is actually is rumored. There's a confirmation rumor out there that season 7 is coming out 2024. Is that crazy or not? Like, I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah, hopefully it happens. I've been hearing, is it coming? Is it not coming? Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? So for this one, I get my fingers crossed. Hunter x Hunter is a really good series. So looking forward to season 7 actually being a thing.
Yeah, Hunter x Hunter was one of those animes that I watched, and it really stuck. It really stuck with me, especially by Tagashi. um, Tagashi the goat, and it's been a while. I can't say. Um, I think there's like it's the chapters coming out, not the anime, just to confirm that for you guys. Well, it says season 7, so it's referring to the anime. I'd assume is referring to the anime, which is it's interesting to me. I'm almost doubtful of this information, because it's saying season 7, right, as opposed to the manga, which the manga is also rumored to be coming out. I think it was at a later time though than 2024. So very speculative of this news. Hopefully, for you guys that know me and have watched previous content, you guys already know how big of a fan I am of not just Tagashi, but Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho. That's just some of the work that Tagashi has had put his magical little fingers on. Unfortunately, his health has been a concern. We just recently lost Akira Toriyama due to, I don't know if I mean, there, we know the reasons, but I don't think we should go into that again. We have a totally separate podcast episode where we kind of, pay homage to him. And of course, we're going to talk about him in the future. It's weird that I feel the need to have to bring up, and it's really not, I think, a need to bring up Akira Toriyama, but it's weird that I find myself bringing his name up in a lot of Tagashi's conversations. Absolutely no correlation there, but it's just interesting, to say the least. Yeah.
Yeah, probably because of what's going on with Tagashi and his health issues. It probably immediately made you think of the situation with Akira Toriyama, which was, unfortunate.
That was it. That was 100% the reason why. And for us, all the Tagashi fans out there, like we know, like he's had some issues with his health, and I don't really want to wish that on anyone that they work themselves to death. Yeah, that's as simple as that.
Moving on, we have Spy X Family Code White. It released this week, I believe. Yesterday it would have been on the 19th. In English, it came out. It's been out for a minute since last year, but finally we got the English dub for the film. The Forgers in the film, they go on vacation and things go pretty south from there. So if you haven't checked out Spy X Family Code White, go ahead and check it out in English dub. It's out now in the US.
I'm excited for that one. Actually, I love when it's a movie, right? Is it not?
Yeah, it's a movie.
Yeah, I love when slice of life animes like this kind of they go all the way to make and they thrive, and then they make movies which we can then continue to latch on to. I think that's beautiful.
Me too. And one thing I like with you mentioned Spy X Family. One thing I do like about that series from what I've seen, I like that slice of life bit, but then at the same time it has its serious bits with the gunplay and the action scenes as well. So that's something that I enjoy out of that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Oh, so I mean, I don't know if there are any other thoughts about Spy X. Are you caught up with the anime?
No, I'm not fully caught up with the anime. I'm actually looking to see the film that just came out pretty recently. Like I'm one of the people that I don't mind watching, film in the subtitles, but it's much easier for me to watch it when it's in dub because, when it's in dub, if I have to get up and do something or something like that, like I can still hear what's going on in the background without having to watch and read the text type thing. So for me, just seeing it, come out in English dub or any film of that matter coming out in English dub when it pertains to anime is always a welcome thing.
100%, 100%. Yeah, I can't say I'm caught up either, so I'm not gonna put a front on and say, oh yeah, I'm caught up to Spy X Family. Although I mean, I'm told it's a good series. I've watched season 1, so it's a fun series. I highly encourage people that are trying to get into anime, go and watch Spy X Family. I thought it was absolutely hilarious and even just fun to watch at times. For its action, and it just for its like slice of life moments is absolutely must watch. At least once, watch 3 episodes.
Yeah, and another thing with the film as well, if you're interested in watching the film is a completely original story, sideline from the main branch of the story. So you don't really have to be completely caught up on what's going on currently in the anime. You can, have no prior knowledge of what's going on and go ahead and watch the film and enjoy it. So
that's good news.
I wouldn't shy away from watching it if you haven't caught up all the way with everything that's going on in the actual series.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because I was probably going to be my next question, at least for the audience. See if they might have been interested in that. Well, I guess next up we have Solo Leveling season. Now I know this is a bit dated, and I really didn't get to give my opinions on this. I did talk about it a little bit on Twitter, but season 1 has ended of Solo Leveling, right? Sun Drip Woo, right? As they call him.
Sun Drip Woo.
Sun Drip Woo, yeah, because he's always decked out. This man has turned from, po' boy, po' boy. I call deep in the, and not even, I guess, like
The trenches.
I wouldn't even say deep in. Yeah, I guess deep in the trenches, right? Deep in the trenches. I'm gonna just go with it. I'm gonna go with it. And now this man has went from rag to riches, right? This man has leveled up unbelievably within the span of season 1 and changed classes about 5 times, right? That's an exaggeration, of course, for some of you guys that have not watched season 1 or read the manhwa. I actually have finished the manhwa, so just seeing the animation thrive, I definitely appreciate it. I try to create that atmosphere, encouraging more people to watch manhwa. Back when I think back when Boruto first started. Yeah, I think that was it. I won't tell you why that a correlation is, or why there's a connection there, but yeah, that's why. And season one was absolutely phenomenal. I thought it was pretty dope. I loved how they paced it. The animation, of course, was great. I don't think there is another animation style or type or anything else necessary for me to like, oh, I need to see this in Blu-ray. Like, look, I'm looking at it now. For what I see, as I see it, it's pretty solid. Toward the end, that's when, of course, you have Sun Jin Woo, understanding like he's becoming stronger, and you got this reawakening experience. And if you, I won't dive too into that for those of you guys that aren't too familiar with what that is yet, but it's a way for him to get stronger, essentially. I will put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought season 1 was pretty dope. It's a little bit of a different perspective for me because I wasn't reading the manga beforehand. I've heard of the manga, and generally speaking, I heard good things of the manga from people who read it. So I went straight into the anime watching Solo Leveling. So everything that I was seeing was new to me for the first time. But like you said, I agree with the pacing aspect. I think it's paced really good, and I like the animation style. Like I think it complements what's going on very well for Solo Leveling. And then, man, like some of the fights were brutal. Like this man being how he was in the beginning, like coming from the trenches, so to speak. So like how he is by the end of season 1, leveling up is like a thing to see. Like I remember there was the episode when he was fighting the Cerberus, and like he was in the mouth of the Cerberus, and all his energy was going down. And I was like, dang, man, like this man is going through it. But like when he actually does beat his opponents, like I like how you get that sense of payoff as he levels up and he gets stronger throughout the anime. So that's a dope perspective that the anime brings compared to some of its competitors. So overall, like I would say I enjoyed season 1 of Solo Leveling a lot, and I'm looking forward. Like I say, like to me everything is new. So when you mention like the awakening and things like that, I'm like, okay, what is that? Like everything is new to me. So I'm looking forward to seeing what is going to actually happen with season 2. But yeah, like so far, Solo Leveling is pretty dope.
Doing it again. The thing about me is I will look into something without like just on a whim, right? And I won't hear anything about it, and I'll see it and I'll read a little bit about it. I'm like, okay, I think I might be interested in this. So I start reading it, right? And I end up finishing something, and then now I have those like that sense of like, oh, how the anime gonna be. And I think most people get this, but what I try to do is I try to watch as much or read as much of something else that I almost forget like what I read about until I remember like a specific scene, and I'll trust my memory, just like because I'm automatically like analytical, so I try to remember like pieces of like just like we were talking about kaiju number 8, right? Where essentially like episode 2 was not in the manhwa, or at least
Right.
manga. At least a portion of it was in the manga, which I've already been doing like, of course, the read throughs on my main channel, the Zone FanFic channel, but it's essentially that, right? But they add like a little bit more, and I think this is common within shonen manga, and I believe Soul Leveling is a shonen, which I'm so glad that they're kind of going this direction. There's still a lot of gore. There's and they don't censor shit like at all. Crazy. Just like the amount of
It's the shock factor. It's like how I was saying with the Cerberus scene where he was getting gnashed on, man. It was like, dang, like how is this man even going to survive? Like, how does this man survive that kind of thing?
It's almost like, so like I love animes like this to where they're almost like in a game type setting. Like Solo Leveling is essentially a game format, right? Like Sword Art Online, right? I love
Right.
Sword Art Online, but Solo Leveling, another game type format where you could easily make a game, Solo Leveling game, and it would be a huge MMO if done right. Right, if done right, because and not everyone can be. There's like a few type of people of Sun Jin Woo, and not everyone can be that, but people can be almost like that, Depends on how they work it. I think it can be done. And from what I heard, I don't know if this was rumored, but I want to say like toward the end of the manhwa, the author was trying to basically create a spin-off, or there was rumors of a spin-off. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. So if you see this video later on, or if you're catching it now, and I'm just, that's not out there at all. Hey, from what you guys can see, then I guess that's the case.
That sounds pretty interesting. Coming up, for June 2024, Baki Hama versus Kengan Ashura is coming up pretty soon. I know for like a lot of people, this is a crossover they've been wanting to see since the Baki series, and the way that characters are designed, and just the way the fights are, draw like a lot of inspiration from Kengan Ashura, which is a bit of an older series.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people, it's a dream crossover. So I'm glad they're getting that. It's going to be coming soon, coming in June. It's also going to be on Netflix as well. So
of course,
be on the lookout to watch it on there.
That is dope. I'm glad they're continuing to explore that. They understand their fan base.
Right. I seen something too. I think we had it on the podcast as well, and talked about it for a little bit, where there was like I don't know what happened with it, or if it's going to be an anime thing, but there's like a Spy X Family. Now that we talked about the movie, crossover with Street Fighter as well. So,
wait,
like you said, like Spy X Family crossover with Street Fighter.
Really? How is this happening? When is this happening?
I don't know. That's the thing. We talked about it, I think, briefly on one of our older podcasts.
I think,
like you were saying, like I like when they explore like that type of thing, like different crossovers between series. I think it's pretty dope, especially when it's something that meshes really well, genre and aesthetic wise.
Yeah. I mean, make it happen. Make all of it happen. I'm ready. I'm so ready. Especially You know, especially this. Damn, that's crazy. And you said it releases in June?
Yep, in June this year.
June this year, okay. Wow. My Hero Academia, guys. My Hero Academia season 7 releases May 4th. May the 4th be with you guys. May the 4th. It's going to be a special day for My Hero Academia fans. Me myself, I like My Hero Academia. Do I like it as much as Black Clover? Absolutely not. But My Hero Academia is still pretty good of an anime. I will give it that. Are some of his characters, do some of his characters need like a little bit more exploring? It's debatable, right? But yeah, great news. That's pretty fast because we're like on a year hiatus, 2 years.
From My Hero Academia, it's been a minute. Yeah, like a year.
That's crazy. That's great. That's insane. Yeah. Heck yeah. 2024, baby. 2024.
Bouncing off of that, more good news for fans of Fairy Tail. They're getting something in July 2024. Fairy Tail is adapting the 100-year quest, which is the time skip of the manga, into an anime finally. We don't know the exact date in July 2024, but it's coming in July 2024 as an anime for the Fairy Tail time skip. So I know fans of that have been waiting for a long time. I don't know, man. I don't know how long it's been between the gap coming from the anime now between what was before, but
Like
I know
that,
they've been waiting longer than
like
I know
that.
they've been waiting longer than the guys who have been waiting for My Hero Academia season 7. So
It's been like 20 years, guys. I'm just exaggerating. Yeah, that's good news. That's a movie, right?
no, it's the anime adaptation.
Oh yeah, my
Yeah,
bad.
the anime is coming back.
I'm mad at myself. I'm mad at myself. Dang. July 2024. July is cooking, man. July is cooking. All kind of anime. This is wild.
Yeah, that June July kind of
Time frame.
frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Just lots and lots of drops coming.
Ooh, I feel like I got a mystery box. We opened Pandora's box 2024, baby. Yeah. All right. All right. All right. So, whew, guys. Boruto, Two Blue Vortex. But you guys thought we weren't going to talk about it, huh? What is the time skip doing right now? Like, are they going to show it within the next few chapters, or are they going to show it during a pivotal plot? Like, how are they also going to like do something like Fairy Tail, right? Where they kind of expand on the time skip. It could be an entire filler arc. And this I'm assuming this will probably be the same way they did Naruto, and the same way they're going to a similar way they're doing Fairy Tail, where they're essentially going to only include the time skip stuff. Now, granted, they did include some time skip stuff with Sasuke and Boruto, but it was like half a chapter, guys. I would like a chapter, or and this is what I think they're going to do a similar thing in Naruto, right? Where they're going to basically do about 20 to 30 to 50 filler episodes, right, in the animation, and expand on the time skip. And this will give lore into the future parts part 2. And so this may happen either prior to the anime starting, I guess that'll be the initial part. They may show like, Boruto coming back and they jump to the filler. And then, that way they have time to animate because they always need time to animate. Even like, what are they doing now? Are they animating now? How they started on the animation? We need news, right? And the anime, the Boruto Tubular Vortex new anime is, or fandom, they're starving for news, which is why they're always everywhere on Twitter. They're always in everything and they try to do everything, but it's impossible because there's a lack of information that they just do not have, right? My Hero Academia fandom, they're all right. They get the chapter, they're like, okay, thank you for this. We'll read this, we'll accept this. And then we'll talk about it amongst ourselves, maybe make a video, but we're not, talking about other fandoms being better than other fandoms.
Yeah. Yeah, for that, it's kind of unfortunate too, because I remember for Boruto, if I remember right, the anime didn't even when it ended, it actually got cut short. Like it didn't end on the same end as part one of the manga. Part one of the manga had a lot more things going on post code, whereas the anime just ended, directly, I think, after the cold fight, and then it got cut short. Like there's a whole arc that it didn't adapt, that the manga adapted before it went into TBV. So
Oh yeah,
hopefully,
oh yeah,
yeah,
that's probably
hopefully,
off. And then of course,
yeah, hopefully some expansion is needed for sure. I don't know how they're going to approach that. Like you said, I don't know what they're doing with that. I don't know if they're just going to skip and just kind of fill in the gaps with filler, because they skip so many important things that happen before the time skip, or they'll just go into the time skip. But
I
no telling what that's a mess. So,
have no idea where how the Boruto community, Boruto Tuple Vortex community is surviving right now. I mean, other than like, because I guess they have all, they can always go back to Naruto, fandom. I guess because it's an extension of the Naruto fandom. So even though they don't acknowledge each other as that, and it's weird, very very weird. The fandom very divided.
yeah,
Even though they shouldn't, because same series. Because in chapter 9, guess who comes back? Which was mentioned in Naruto, which would have only been possible because it was only mentioned in Naruto. I can't spoil that right now. You guys check us out next week. We'll talk all about it. So yeah, that's good stuff. Good stuff, very good stuff. Coming from the Kishimoto. So far they are still remaining solid in their game and improving day by day, week by week, month by month, I should say. Yeah, great stuff.
yeah. Hopefully, some kind of news comes up soon with their plans for what they're doing with the anime on that. But going away from Boruto, what we do know though, Demon Slayer season 4 coming up in May 12th. So that's good news on that front from for Demon Slayer fans, especially coming up from what we were just saying. Some people don't know where, or other fans don't know what is going on with their show. I remember on another podcast we were also talking about Berserk, and like how things are going with the Berserk anime. They haven't got anything since like 19, how old is Berserk? 1997? It's something like that. It's been a minute.
Actually,
Where
Berserk has got like a few animes. Like spin.
Well, there was the 3D one, but do we count that really?
There was the 3D one, and then there was the one there's one in 2019, which was like it really like kind of skimmed through a bunch of the series. Like it tried to fast track by including like a lot of still images,
Right.
and then instead of really giving us like story, it just had music in the background, and instead of characters talking. which was all right. It was I guess to pay homage to the author's death at that time.
I see. Yeah. With that though, I mean, they haven't got something in so long, especially, with the author passing away. And man, we were just talking about this as well, concerning like Akira Toriyama and Tagashi. And now I know with Berserk, they're continuing it, in the hands of another author. But, you know, fans of Berserk, they just got to the point where they just decided, we're just gonna go make our own anime. So
Yeah, RP Kentaro, man, that's crazy. I've said it before, but yeah, that's you said Berserk is trying to make its own anime?
yeah. Fans are I forgot what studio it is, but a fan studio is actually making a new anime for Berserk. We actually covered it a while back, I think, on one of our older podcasts.
Yeah, I think I do recall that. I mean, the sooner the better. The sooner the better. We need it as a community, anime community, and yeah. I mean, I hope they have. I hope they really take pride in this work because the author sure did, right? And so their level of work ethic is really going to be emphasized if they're able to nail this and hit the nail in the coffin, so to speak.
I think for that, I mean, the Berserk fan base is pretty passionate, though. I think if anybody can, hit the nail as you were saying, as far as making an adaptation for something, I think the fans definitely can. I mean, I've seen some really, really cool fan animations for different series that makes me question, like, man, like why don't they have some of these guys working, under the official studios? Like, I remember you sent me one time. There was like this really dope. It was like a Dragon Ball animation, I think, and I was like, dang man, they were fighting, I think, like the Avengers or something like that. I was like, dang man, like the animation on this fan animation is better than what I've seen in like the beginning of like Dragon Ball Super. So it's like, I think it's in good hands.
Hey, I'm Zone FanFic, man. Of course I gotta shout out the fan animators. Come on, man. Of course I gotta shout out the fan animators. I have faith in the anime community that if there's a fan animation done, they're gonna work together to get this accomplished. Like I have more faith in you than I have in the actual in animators these days. Right? Let me tell you that. Because there's a special type of passion, I think, that goes into it, other than the hammer, the almighty hammer that goes down. Finish them all. Finish the animation. It's
right.
It's the community coming together. That's beautiful. Right. Yeah.
Speaking of passion and Dragon Ball in general, just going off of that, and even with some of the stuff that we were mentioning with Akira Toriyama, I think you had some news for us about the upcoming anime project for Dragon Ball Daima. That I heard that Akira Toriyama was like heavily involved in this one, more so than he was for Super.
His last, what do they? How do they say? Hoorah! Yeah,
last hurrah.
Hoorah! Release date confirmed. Apparently. No, it's announced. It's been announced, guys. Release date has been announced. Set in fall 2024 this year, guys. Like I said, this year is cooking with greatness, cooking with magic, with the chef, the sauce.
Sprinkle a little salt in there.
A little. I'm not doing it right because I can't contort my body like that. He's fit and I have no idea what he eats. He eats steak all day. That's what he eats. Red steak all day. I'd be able to do that, but I'm broke. Anyways, Dragon Ball Daima. This is great news because I can't say I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan anymore. I used to be, but from what I gauge, and I think others gauged as well. From some traction I saw, especially on Twitter. You know, my initial comments when I saw the trailer, of course, where it was, looks like Dragon Ball GT. Looks like they're trying to take a GT route, but it appears that everyone is not going to be in not a chibi form, just younger, which also reminds me of GT.
Right?
I don't know what to say. I don't know which direction they're taking this, but there's so many aspects that kind of bring me back. And then GT wasn't even written by Akira Toriyama. So, but anyway, it was still one of my favorite Dragon Balls. Like I think it was better than Dragon Ball Z. Just hot take right there. I liked Dragon Ball, but it was all right. It was good when it was airing, but seeing Z, I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of better than Dragon Ball. And then you get GT when like, you know, Akira Toriyama was like, yeah, I'm done. You know? Then you're like, oh, I'm skeptical because I hear this is not written by Akira Toriyama. But also Goku is young again and he has his tail. You know? Which just made sense for the conclusion of Dragon Ball for him to have his tail. But I always said, like, if he was always going to, if Kira was always going to come back, there's the only other route that he can go down, because, you know, basically you already had the god of the world, which was basically, was it Mr. Popo or Mr. Popo was in the god? That was thinking
Kami, maybe?
Yeah, Kami, yeah. He was basically like god of Earth, right? If I remember correctly. And then you have King Kai, who was basically like god of that section of the universe, right? There's Grand Kai, and it was like, whoa, let's keep at it. There's keep. Oh, and then people can revive. Yeah, I won't give my hot takes on that. I mean, this is still very interesting news. And I think they have something here. I think they really do. This is going to give Dragon Ball fans all over the, you know, from everywhere, something to really understand. Because I think Dragon Ball Super really kind of like, you know, all of a sudden there was Beerus and there was Whis, and they're like, okay, well, this, you know, I got a destruction, but he's not really got a destruction. He just kind of does. It may be a little less confusing in a sense, and it may also be a great path forward. There's also Dragon Ball Heroes, which I believe is, you know, also not written by Akira Toriyama, but it's got a lot of interesting ideas to it. I could be. Am I wrong on that? Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I don't think it is created by.
No, it's not created by Toriyama. It's like a mini series, but it's. I tried to watch a couple episodes of that. I remember when it first came out out of curiosity, but there is just like
a lot,
so much of a mess going on with that, where it's just like, nah, I'm good.
Traveling Trunks, you got Super Saiyan Goku 4, you got was it Ultra Instinct at one point? There
are too many beings above beings, and too many time travel shenanigans involved with that, where it just completely confuses me to the point of I don't know what is going on.
I don't think they did it right. Like I'm time travel, and I don't think they did it right. They didn't feel like they did it right. You know. But anyways, yeah, it's Dragon Ball Daima. Yeah.
Coming up in July, we have Suicide Squad Isekai. I'm kind of curious to see how this is going to be with Suicide Squad as an anime. Like I like DC Comics, and I do like the characters, you know, the Suicide Squad, Joker, Harley Quinn, the whole crew and whatnot. And I like the from what I've seen, like I like the aesthetic to it. Like it has a really cool aesthetic. It almost reminds me of like I don't want to say Arcane with the way the color scheme is, but
no.
but I don't know how to describe it. But I do like the color palette a lot. I think it fits the characters. But I don't know. What do you think about it? Have you seen the trailers and stuff for it so far?
I have seen the trailer. It's been a minute, but I do know what you're talking about. We might have to engage with this like a little later. That way I can like get my words together. I might remember like before the podcast and say, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Um and yeah, it's it's all very interesting. I'm all for a Suicide Squad isekai. But how would that shit work? You know,
Right?
I'm very confused as to how it would work, and maybe that really tests my Suicide Squad knowledge right there. The fact that I don't know how it might work. Please, if any of you guys in the comments know, drop the answer below because I'm not really I'm not really sure. Next up though, Kaiju number 8. Like I said, the 2024 is the year of the Monsterverse. Did I lie? No, I did not. You can go on Apple TV. You can go on, what is it called? Fire Stick. You get the same type of Godzilla Monsterverse. Just on Apple TV is a very good series. It's called Legacy of Monsters. Or Legacy of Legacy, we'll call it Legacy of Monsters now. You Google that, you'll find it. There's been Godzilla -1 to come out. There's been Godzilla's in the movie theaters right now. Godzilla versus Kong. It's called something, but you can Google that as well and find that. It's in the movies. Go and watch it. But the reason why I say this is the year of the Monsterverse, primarily Kaiju number 8, right? They found out this is the year of the Monsterverse, and they were like, "Yeah, we're doing our anime then," and it's phenomenal, right? It's pretty dang good for what it is. Kaiju number 8, episode 2 dropped today, right? And that for season episode 1, I thought was pretty good. I don't want to spoil because Breezy, have you seen episode 1? I forget. I know I asked you this earlier, but I forget.
Yeah, I watched episode 1. I thought that the first episode did like a really job of just like setting up the world and characters. And it lets you know like from the get-go that there's sort of like a hierarchy at play, which
Okay.
you can kind of hear from just like the way Kafka's dialogue is at the beginning, and then just looking at the reaction Reina has from Kafka. Reina has from Kafka. I had a little bit of a tongue twister there, but you get the hints in the beginning that those two are in the defense force versus the people who aren't in the defense force, and I thought that it was an interesting dynamic that they set up, and you got the feeling of tension set up even more when they introduce the kaiju as a threat for the first time for people that aren't familiar with the manga. And I thought so far, like in anime format, they did a really good job of doing like the kaiju designs from episode 1 alone. Like from episode 1, we already see like 4 different kaiju, and each design for each kaiju is pretty different from one another. So it kind of has that year of the monster kind of thing that you were talking about a little bit earlier. So I think for like monster fans, like it's a really exciting variety that kind of fills you in a lot just taking in what's going on alone without like a lot of heavy exposition. But I'm excited for it, and I watched the second episode along with you as well, and I thought like episode 2 was really good. So I don't think it needs more explanation for Kaiju number 8 is also a really good start.
Yeah, it takes Yeah, I'm not too deep within the manga yet, but I am still doing my read-throughs. I need to catch up on the live read-throughs. They won't exactly be reactions, but they'll be on, of course, on the Zone FanFic channel, so you guys can, of course, find the link below, um, YouTube it, whatever. Find me on Twitter, whatever, and watch the read-throughs with us, with me. But yeah, I think this is definitely a series that has a lot of potential in it. And the pacing so far has done a phenomenal job, and I think that is a key factor in the anime. It takes it slow. It adds to the right things without making it feel like filler. And of course it expands on the characters. It really, I think they nailed the voice acting. They nailed some of the characters. Ichikawa, I'm already liking that dude. Um, just from like an anime viewer standpoint, like I'm liking him, right? And then of course, uh, Hibino, Hibino Akabi, butchered his name. But yeah, like even his character is not as one-sided as it looks, and I think you can tell that from the first few episodes. But it definitely kind of highlights some things that I think are good to expand on, and that will expand at one point. So yeah, it's got some potential. Nice stuff, good stuff.
Yeah,
To
yeah. I
catch.
think even the pacing of the comedy was really nice, and I like how you mentioned like it does a lot for you as a viewer, and it kind of goes back to like when I was saying from episode one, like it does a very good job of just like setting up atmosphere with the monsters, with the characters, to where like you don't need a lot of heavy exposition, like I was saying, and like a lot of explaining of what's going on and who the characters are yet, because it does a really good job of just pulling you in. So
Yeah, I think initially when I heard about the series, I was like, someone says like a mix of like Attack on Titans and I think it was like another series, and I heard those two series, and I was like, Attack on Titans, what, huh? And at this point in time, like Attack on Titans is like it is ending. Is like I gotta get my hands, I gotta find out this is true, and it takes some aspects, I guess, but not entirely where it removes itself completely. I think it does enough, and more than enough to remove itself completely from that idea or those ideas, but it definitely kind of it has important aspects that are key. I think good key building aspects. I'll say, yeah,
yeah, I think I can get where somebody would say a bit of Attack on Titan, but only because of the kaiju's themselves. But I think, like you said, it kind of pulls away and does its own thing with just the vibe that it gives off. I don't think it gives off Attack on Titan vibes,
mm,
just with the way it sets up the characters, and just the overall tone is just completely different from Attack on Titan.
I agree. I agree. Yeah.
Moving on, we have our tech news and update section. So,
Ooh.
for you guys that have Apples, very good news for you guys. So, Apple finally now allows you to download game emulators from its App Store. This is something that's cool for me. Like, I don't have an Apple myself right now. I used to have an Apple, and I know, like, for me, like not being able to download certain things that my friends on Android would have is can be kind of frustrating, especially emulators for like old games. Because I know there's a big vast library of like old games out there that I know a lot of times that I can think of where I'm like, man, I really want to play this game, but I can't play that game without having like the old system. So without having the old system, there's no other thing you can do, or no other option for you to get that game other than just emulating it on something. So to be able to, have that emulator on your iPhone is a great thing. So you don't have to total around, your PC all the time if you want to go play like an old, I don't know, like Super Nintendo game when you don't have access to a Super Nintendo. So that's a pretty cool thing.
Emulators is huge. And I think many others would say the same, as like the idea of Apple gaming is like security, good, right?
Right.
Bad, very bad, like terrible. Like, it just makes you want to use that voice from your stomach and just right. That's how you feel, like constipation. With Apple gaming, but this emulator things, this is big. Yeah.
But yeah, pretty excited for that. I know another thing that you were showing me earlier. Do you want to talk a bit about the San Diego robots?
Yeah. So San Diego robots, guys. Yeah. Let's go ahead. I'll pull it up so you guys can see it loud and proud. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Not really, but it could be. It could be good.
It could be.
Let's see. All right, we're here.
San Diego is among the latest cities to implement new innovative technology to help reduce crime.
This autonomous security robot is one of 3 that have been deployed in San Diego. CBS 8's Rocio de la Fe takes a closer look at how the tech is helping residents and properties.
The robot is helping tackle crime by using a combination of self-driving technology, robotics, and AI to provide an extra set of eyes and ears on the ground.
In case you're wondering, I'm a security robot. Nice to see you here.
It's just here to enhance the security so that it constantly shows a presence.
This autonomous security robot recently started patrolling the Stratton Apartments in Claremont.
It's constantly monitoring the area for any anomalies that it may have.
One of just 3 recently deployed in San Diego.
The robot basically is here to give the tenants and the property a sense of security in the most innovative ways.
Danny Garcia is the director of operations at JDS Security Services and says the technology is a physical deterrent for crime.
Another thing that they're having issues right now is a lot of catalytic converters are being stolen. So the robot does have the infrared at night, so it'll monitor for any heat signatures walking around any vehicles or someone trying to do that at night.
The automated security officer is capable of working 24 hours, 7 days a week, and recharges its batteries on site. On the company's website, it says the costs range anywhere from 75 cents to $9 an hour, which is significantly less than what a human security guard would cost. The robot has 360-degree high-definition cameras. It records audio and video and can read up to 300 license plates per minute.
This ASO that we call it is much like a human being. It runs on 5 sensors, just like you and I. The robot itself has LiDAR, laser, ultrasonic laser as well to get it through to do its job.
When crime's committed, it goes directly to our dispatch center.
The robot can store information for up to 30 days. And while some people we spoke to are happy to have the new technology, others are still warming up to the idea.
I cannot communicate with a machine. I cannot talk to a machine cannot talk back to me.
There's growing demand for the robots. They've already been rolled out in cities across California, New York City, Washington, D.C., and Las Vegas. Rocio de la Fe, CBS 8.
Oh, no.
What's that? D.C., Vegas, New York, and California. Yo. All right. Yeah, that's the the new robot. And it's hitting the streets, guys. It's here. It's here to stay. I'm telling you that now. It's going to fix crime. I think it's going to be effective. And the only thing, I don't know if there are legality protections behind it yet. So take that information how you will.
The whole time where I was watching the video and the guy, they were talking about crime, like I was thinking about what does it do? Like, if it detects immediately, or if it sees somebody committing a crime, or makes that judgment immediately? And he was like, "Oh, it goes back to our center." Like, I was thinking in my head, like, what does that look like? Does it just speed on back to the center, or like does it ring an alarm? Like,
It probably reports it to dispatch. Dispatch looks at the feed, and while they're being investigated as part of the investigation process. That makes 100% sense to me.
I see.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, that thing was moving at like 2 miles per hour. It was like,
But
report back to the center. Okay.
Camera is like 360 degrees, and it sees like 300 license plates per second.
That's crazy.
Even like that, it's probably not even necessary. Like, woo! Hey, the future is here.
Crazy. We also had some a little bit of sad news. So Chance Perdomo, he was the actor, I believe, he was in The Boys. I believe he played the character Andre.
Yeah.
He recently died in a motorcycle accident. But luckily nobody else was hurt in the accident. But it's an unfortunate thing. He was only 27, I think, too.
That is wild. That's wild. People die so young, especially like these, actors. And he was getting paid too, man. You gotta be rolling around your Yukon by now. But shit, this is crazy.
Right?
This is crazy.
Right. Yeah, he had a pretty big role.
Yeah, it's Sabrina Gen 5. Yeah, this is crazy. Dang, he had a lot of talent. I think he could have went places. He had a very recognizable face. Like, I think that's probably why it's such a shock factor to me. It's because it's like, oh, whoa, that guy. Like, I don't even have to really Google. You could really kind of picture his face. He had very unique features to kind of distinguish off of.
Right.
Wow. It's a good thing no one else was hurt in that accident. It was a motorcycle accident. It's very unfortunate. Rest in peace. Condolences to the family, of course. I don't know them personally, but I understand how it's like to lose someone in a moment. So
moment's notice, yeah.
Yeah, it's very
very unfortunate situation. But moving on from that, The Matrix 5 is greenlit by Warner Bros. So this one,
whoa, how are we gonna go from completely sad news to some high pass news? Who wrote this? I'm joking. That's crazy because wow, that's Matrix 5, guys.
Yeah, The Matrix 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like go ahead. But no disrespect to Chance at all. Like that was an unfortunate thing. But Matrix 5 coming is hype though. I'm a big fan of the Matrix series. I like Keanu Reeves as an actor. I think he does a really good job. The Matrix 4. Well, first, before I talk about The Matrix 4, how did you feel about that one, if you've seen it?
Yeah, I liked it. It made sense from a Matrix standpoint. He was back in the loop. I when I saw it last, it was 2021. That's when it came out, I think. And I thought it was great. I love Keanu Reeves. The new Morpheus, I think that's probably something that we would have probably felt the need to do without, but it worked.
I think that's an understatement. I'm never going to lie to you. I did not like Morpheus at all.
Yeah. I can't. I'm not gonna talk about Matrix. And Matrix, it was a good movie. It was a really good movie. I like what they did. They had what's the guy that plays Mr.
Which character? I think Jonathan Groff, who played Agent Smith in The Matrix, did a really great job.
Yeah.
Still thinking of the character?
No, it's Agent Smith. It's Agent Smith.
Oh, it is Agent Smith. Okay, that's crazy because I just said that. Yeah. I think he did an excellent job. Yeah, I was just about to say I enjoyed the movie a lot, and I thought that his role in particular was really good.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job especially as he did a great job. It was good. You know, I didn't have any negative opinions about it. Like a lot of people seem to not like it. It made sense from a narrative standpoint, especially from a Matrix fan like myself. Like it did its thing, you know. And
what? I didn't even know people didn't like the Matrix 4 like that.
Apparently.
But then again, I mean, well, I guess I could see it in a way. Like I usually just go into movies, you know, blind without like watching a lot of reviews like that. Because from my experience, like a lot of reviews that I've been seeing with like a lot of films as of lately, like I just don't understand where they're coming from at all. Where like they'll just completely hate the movie, and then I'll watch the movie and I'm like, what movie were you watching?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm there, right there with you because I didn't understand it. The dislike for the movie. I can see how people would not like old Morpheus. What's his name? How am I forgetting this actor's name?
For Morpheus?
For Morpheus, yeah.
Keanu?
No. That's not.
That played which character?
Morpheus. You played Morpheus. Leon, who played more.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Yes, Lawrence Fishburne. People didn't even though he's old right now. Like people didn't like the fact that he wasn't Morpheus in the movie, and I was like, you guys know he's old, right? And
right.
I felt the same way. I was conflicted just saying that, right? But even so, like I was like, yeah, I could accept it. He's getting old, but I would have rather just along with. And apparently, this is one of the things that did it for the movie. Is that he wasn't Morpheus, and I was like, okay, all right, well, cool.
Yeah, like the only thing I thought for like Matrix 4, I thought like it could have used just a little bit more exposition, but I overall loved the movie. Like I thought there were lots of callbacks to the older films, and then there are like some pretty good moments that use bits and pieces of the original trilogy as part of like the new movie, and I really appreciated them using and making that callback to some of that old footage and mixing it up to make something new kind of thing. So I don't know. I thought it was a really good film. I'm just based on that, like I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with the Matrix 5.
I think,
and what direction they're going to take it.
I think they also didn't just remembering back, they also didn't like that what's her name got like tapped into the Matrix, like she got like Matrix powers. I think that was like one of the she unlocked the ability to fly.
From number 4?
From number 4, yeah.
Oh, what was her name? It's been a minute since I've seen it too, because I seen it when it first came out.
Going on three almost 4 years now. That's crazy.
Yeah, right. Time just been moving. What was her name? But I know which character you're talking about. But they didn't like her though.
They didn't like the fact that Trinity could fly. How am I forgetting these characters' names? Yeah, they didn't like that.
What? I didn't mind it that much. I don't know.
So there was an explanation for it, and I understood it as when you watch it. Do I remember that now? No. I know.
Oh
that
no,
the reason
it was it was kind of convoluted.
It was yeah. It was very in that aspect. Yeah. Next up, though, we gotta. I don't even want to say it. Civil War, guys. We're not
Oh
talking
boy.
Avengers here. We're not talking about Avengers. We were talking about Civil War, right? Now, this movie, did it come at the wrong time, or did it come at the right time? I think only history will be the judge of that. But I can say that I have watched it. I can give my opinions on it, but I don't think that it'd be right for me to spoil not only Breezy here, but everyone else that has not watched it that will see this video at a later time. So I'm going to try to paint a picture. We're going to show the trailer here shortly. I'll give my thoughts. All right. So, so I'll talk about a few things here. I'll talk about a little bit of the expectations prior to seeing this movie, and then after post seeing this movie, coming from myself and coming from other viewers, right? I don't think that because I don't think that the information I'm going to say is going to be spoiler related. I will try my best not to release a spoiler, but this will primarily be because of the writer, the director, Alex Garland, who essentially he's made interviews coming out with non-spoiler related information that everyone could look at and view, and even in the pre-credit and the I think it was South by Southwest releases that the movie actually that he came out, and he had those prior to the trailer and the movie viewing and such, came out with said information. So we'll do that, and I'll try to make it as brief as possible. All right, here we go. Oh, let's that was the timing was not right for that. All right, here we go, guys. Civil War.
19 states have seceded. The United States Army ramps up activity. The White House issued warnings to the Western forces as well as the Florida Alliance.
The future president assures the uprising will be dealt with swiftly.
Let me know if you want to try anything on.
Are you guys aware there's like a pretty huge civil war going on all across America?
We just try to stay out. With what we see on the news, seems like it's for the best.
Citizens of America, the so-called Western forces of Texas and California have suffered a very great defeat at the hands of the United States military.
Mr. President, do you regret the use of airstrikes against American citizens? We're moving to D.C. today.
We need to go down there.
They shoot journalists on sight in the Capitol. Every instinct in me says this is death. Bloody.
Every time I survived the war zone, I thought I was sending a warning home. Don't do this. But here we are.
There's some kind of misunderstanding here. What? We're American, okay? Okay. What kind of American are you? You don't know?
The Western forces will reach the White House on July 4th.
Oh my god.
Get in the car! Get in the car!
Move, move, move!
We're gonna hang back.
I'm not hanging back.
One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go, 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 go!
God bless America.
Civil War, guys. Civil War. Now, I don't want to. My intent for showing you guys this video is not to spark anything or give you guys new information. This is a very, if you don't know, we focus on many topics for this channel. And I want to give a little bit of information here. These are A-grade actors here. A22 has produced very solid films. Alex Garland, of course, has produced films like Ex Machina and Annihilation. So this is not atypical for him. And apparently this is his last film, so maybe he's making a statement, maybe he's not. If you've watched some of the interviews, which I would highly encourage you do, you would understand more of the focus where he's trying to lean into primarily. Of course, you see some familiar actors there, which is I thought it was unique. Again, I have seen this movie, and I felt it I felt the need to watch this, not only as someone. Yeah, I guess I felt the need to watch this. If you guys would like to see me expand more on this per se, definitely check out check us out in the future. We may either bring this up again on another episode of the Sing Zone podcast or on the Zone FanFic channel. But I would like to say, prior to watching this, I thought my expectations, a lot of expectations were going to be, and prior to the interviews, of course, which there have been several of with Alex Garland, that this was going to be a very divisive political movie, at least focused on, and looking at it from a black and white point of view. This is about Civil War in America, right? Which this has been a very heavy word in certain demographics of society, and you may be able to make some correlations and patterns as to who that may gravitate toward. Although, prior to watching the movie, I did realize, and even during watching the movie, it's definitely a focus toward journalism and not the media, which was the entire focus of the movie. To really lean into what journalism looks like and what its what its goal is to accomplish, to get the message out there, not to get other people's opinion about the message, which is typically what the media does. They may have a few seconds where the journalists on the scene, and depending on the journalist, war journalist, they'll give their opinions on it, and then the media will take it from there, and they'll clip to an expanded conversation on what the journalist just said, even though they're not actively just reporting what the journalist has to say and what they're doing. Not as in its entirely, and this gives more of a transparent outlook as to what that looks like from their point of view, not from a political point of view. And of course, there is, you can see from the trailer, there looks like there's a downfall. There's a seemingly a downfall of American society based off of certain actions by the president there, and inactions apparently. But from someone that's watched the movie, I can tell you, and this will be my only spoiler, he's only in the movie for about 30 seconds. And I think that if you watch any other review, you get that same information. there's very little to take away from that, and I think that's very intentional. It, even Alex Garland says that in the movie, he tries to sway away from the focus of political intent. Although there are some more impactful scenes, like, you know, the what type of America or what type of American are you? And of course, there are the United Western Forces of Texas and California, which, again, this is a sci-fi type of movie. Now, I'm not saying that Texas and California can't, like, if things in the way that I'm not sure if I should give my input as to the validity of that, or what I believe the validity of that and the possibility of that could be. Not validity, but I guess the possibility might be a better word to say. But I will kind of shine a light on what Alex Garland said, and he essentially highlighted that, you know, if things hit the fan, you know, the two biggest states, aside from Alaska, of course, would try to use their individual state power to separate. And I think he kind of plays along with the lines of, you know, Texas has thought about separating itself. It's called something very specific, but separating itself from the United States, becoming its own country alongside with California. There have been conversations about that in the past, and I think that's where he kind of uses a hint of realism and previous conversations to kind of add into his sci-fi world, which is what sci-fi is. It's science fiction, right? It's things that you can use that kind of add a bit of realism, but also, you know, it's a world. Now, this happened to be a world where it was in the near future of America, but it's a sci-fi movie, as Alex Garland said, and you can tell that, you know, it's interesting because the direction that he goes down, it's not really what happens in the war and the horror in the movie that really. Those are byproducts, right? But I think what the intent is to see what it looks like from a journalist standpoint, and from and more so what it's like to be in the journey where this is the world. All right, to, you know, for us to kind of envision that through that lens, a world where it's not necessarily a piece by piece takeaway here, where, you know, there have been a few people that are like, oh, this is very this leaning or that leaning, and there have been people that, you know, they really highlight and they really kind of understand, I think, the intent of the author here, the director here, where, you know, he voices this is not about politics. This is about people coming together and this is about, you know, what this type of world would look like, and that is what I think every director's hope and ambitions are to really do, to really shine a light on the more realistic aspects of fiction, right? Because I think it really gives perspective, and that is what we need when we lack it in society. We need perspective, so that we can adapt and overcome, you know, the negative and the and start to implement some of the good. But yeah, that was pretty long, drawn out. For I hope I didn't make that too long. I felt the need to say that just because I knew that was one of the more conflicting
like controversial release movies from the year.
Released movies on especially this year during election year. It's always very tense. People don't want to talk, people don't want to socialize, because every conversation always seems to lean back to politics, and that's cool, but let's have we don't always have to, and of course these conversations are important, but there's a time and there's a place for everything. I think that this movie being a sci-fi movie, I think it did a very well job for what it did. Now the other point of the conversation would be, was it dropped at the right time? Was it dropped too early? Was it dropped too late? Things of that nature. But aside from that,
Yeah, I think it was dropped at the right. Well, I don't want to say it was dropped too late for sure. I think it would have been a little bit more tense of a movie if it dropped a little bit earlier. I think we're like in kind of a phase where, like, as far as politically, things are still tense, but it's more of a calm down tension compared to like a couple years ago. Like if it dropped during the 2016 near the 2016 election rather than now by the 2020 election,
yeah,
I think people would have been a little bit more divided on the film for sure.
Yeah, it's I think I think that there is a lack of accountability and responsibility that we take on or that just Americans take on, and I think that we don't understand our level of a level of influence and our power with our voices, our power with our perspective, our knowledge, and how we impact everything at one point in time. I think there are factors that contribute to that, but that also plays into what we put in front of us. I think that really challenge, either create challenges or boundaries in front of us, or create open doors, or I guess to really either make it easier or make it harder for us to open our eyes to new possibilities, to understand the good and the bad, and I think it's key that it's very easy to do this, I think, in theory, but I think that we have to really understand our level of influence, again, our accountability and responsibility that we have as individuals, and really try to put some positive things out there in practice. But I think it all begins with ourselves. We must focus on ourselves first before we can make any other changes to society. And I can't harp on that enough. It becomes an individual responsibility to first ensure that we as individuals, not our friend, but us, you, me, are good first. And that is possible. That is 100% possible. You get out there, you experience new things, you expand as much as possible, I think. And I think I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, agreed, 100%. I think it's a big responsibility on us. It's interesting too that you mentioned that I didn't get that the vibe of the trailer doesn't give you the vibe that the focus of the film is on journalism, but it's interesting that you say that because journalism is a really big responsibility. Keeping people informed is and what you tell them as far as news that's out there. What you feed into that is important. It's a huge responsibility. I used to work like some years ago at a news herald, and I did I used to write articles in journalism for the local paper for where I used to stay at the time. And that's one of the things that they always used to emphasize is you got to get the information right. You got to get the information right. That's the most important thing. So I completely agree with you on that.
I think from some of the reviews I've seen, I think one of the major shocks for people is trying to understand the differences between, and it's not may sound super crazy, but I think a very important question to ask ourselves and to ask people that may have seen the film is, what do you think the difference is between journalism and media? And see what they say, because a lot of people, I think, they hesitate and they stumble on that question, like, what is the difference? Like, whoa, what is the difference between journalism and media? Are journalists, given, a script to run? News reporters, maybe, which other a part of the part of the media, and I wouldn't exactly connect those as well. I would say that, there's journalism, and then there's the media, right? Of course, media has their own agenda, and journalists, they report what they see. It's as simple as that, I think. The media takes that, they spin it, and they run it so that their algorithms are good, and their and that their viewership ratings are good. They need to make money. Journalism,
it's all about the money.
They're going to be put on a firm, so the rate is going to be dependent on, of course, location, hazard, danger. They're not going to spin a story right there. They're just reporting what they see. It's as simple as that. But yeah, I won't harp on that any further. What do we have? What do we have next?
Oh yeah, Alien Romulus finally dropped a trailers. It was that rumored Alien movie that we mentioned on an earlier podcast.
What? Let me. What?
Yeah.
Alien
Romulus. It actually takes place, I heard, between the 1979 Alien and the 1986 Alien film.
Yo, okay, let's go ahead and do a beep boop boop boop, doofy boops. All right, guys, here we are. Whoa, what happened? What happened? All right, we are. Yo. Why stop? Run. Spider back.
Oh, damn. Oh man. That's crazy.
All right, so I'm so glad I was muted at that point in time. I was like, oh yeah, other videos playing. Did you hear that? Did you hear the other videos?
No, I was muted. It was muted.
Okay, all right. Oh no, let me click. Not that it was a bad thing or anything like that. I hate videos playing over other videos. But yeah, what are your thoughts after seeing that movie trailer? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, it looks hype just from the trailer. But when I seen the thing that was coming out at that lady's mouth, I'm like, damn, like what?
Bringing it back.
This gonna be crazy.
They're bringing it back. They got the spiders. They got what they call I didn't see any terraforming going on, but
Nah.
they got people taking over vessels and shit. Ooh. It's gonna be an amazing movie. That looks like a movie I definitely need to go see as well in the movies.
For sure.
Or get my speaker set up like rated like pronto, whew. Yo, I think that might be the second time I've seen that, but even still, like I see new things every time I watch that. Every time I see something like alien related, and oh my gosh, I am so ready for that to release. When the release date for that, let me see.
This movie, I believe, is August 16th, if I remember correctly.
That sounds about right. Fall, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for, I guess. It's good news, but it's unfortunate that it's so far away. Like,
it seems far away, but I'll get into that far. We're already in April, so it's just 3 months.
Yeah, damn, that's fucking crazy, man. This year's going by so fast. Yeah, it's Alien Romulus.
Romulus, yeah.
Romulus, yeah. That's all right. Yes, it's not only the MonsterVerse, man. Horror movies coming out in 2024, man. This is a great year. People don't want to believe it because people are all tense about the election and stuff. But as you look outside of the bubble, oh my gosh, it's a great year. Horror movies. Speaking of horror movies, we got Arcadian. Is that a trailer we need to check out? Arcadian?
Yeah, I think there are a couple that just released. So Arcadian, Sting, and Abigail, they've already released in theaters. But if we want to check out some trailers just to see what they're about, I'd be down for that.
I'm down for that too. Obviously. All right, Arcadian guys. First off, I don't even know what that is. What are you talking about?
What is that?
You're not man. Like, look at that dude stumbling and everything. He can't even pick up his stick. Dropped his fire stick. Oh my god. Oh, we're not, men.
They're not making it. They're not making it.
Yeah, we have to find some explosives. I don't know what the fuck is outside. What is outside? Tell me what's outside first, Nicolas Cage.
Right? They made Nicolas Cage look rough too.
Yeah. Hey, it's great. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I might go check it out.
They got the dog, like not the dog.
Yeah, they got the dog, scraping the wood, which was a nice touch. I just, movies like that, I'm always skeptical. I'm like, okay, it's either gonna be something cheesy, or it's gonna be something that, like, what is that? What are they?
Right?
Are they fighting humans?
I get the exact same feeling from those type of movies where they try to hide away whatever the threat is, and then like it all depends on what the actual threat is. Because if it ends up being lame, it's just like, oh, okay, this is kind of cheap.
I will never watch this movie again. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is good for like I guess a night, like I guess like a movie night or something. And you're like,
right,
you watch it, go to bed now. Time to go to bed.
Right. At least with Alien, like it's up. Like they show you immediately in the trailer, what the threat is. But I don't know. It could be good. It could not be good.
The aliens are fucking here, basically. Like
right.
Going up. Like the aliens, they don't mess around. And have you seen Prometheus? Which was essentially like a prequel to the Alien series. Definitely go watch it. If you have not seen it, go watch it now, right? It'll give you a lot of insight into the alien universe, as to who they may or may not be. All right. And the second one, Sting. All right, this is number 2. Oh shoot.
You sure about that?
Hey there, little guy. Charlotte! I need you to watch Liam. Why? Because he's 6 months old and he eats.
Why?
Every time I try and connect, she takes 2 steps back.
Night, Ethan. You hungry? Cool. We're gonna call you Sting. Hi, Eric. Could a spider grow twice as big in a couple of hours?
No, that is a physiological impossibility. Sweet Jesus, what the hell happened to it?
Rats.
I don't think a rat's gonna do that.
Spiders only know 2 things.
Oh!
Eat and kill.
What kind of spider are we talking about here? A big one.
Spider bite will paralyze its prey because it likes to feed on living flesh.
No.
It's all my fault.
We have to deal with this together.
What the? Sting.
That's your spider!
April 12th. I am not going to be watching that movie. Hell.
No. No. What? What?
I came out. I think it's called Cocoon.
Yeah, there is a movie called Cocoon.
I think that was with like a bunch of spiders, like spiders everywhere. People were like, it was basically like snakes on a plane, but for spiders. Fuck no, I do not fuck with spiders at all. I'm not taking a spider. I'm not having it in my house. It's gonna die immediately. I've been camping, and I just whenever I go camping, I don't think about spiders. I just like, hey, spiders don't exist in this world, you know. They're gonna go around me, you know, and I might bring some bug spray, but typically you bring some bug spray. That actually attracts some bugs, and it only lasts so long. So whenever you don't have it, they're like, "Ooh, what's that area now?" You know, and depending on the wind and stuff, they're going to check it out. You know, they're going to check you out. You're going to be more of a target. You know,
Man, like that's not even the reason why I'm good on the movie. It's just because like they took like Spider-Man's radioactive spider and just watched it grow. Like, why would you sit there and watch it grow like that? Like at that point, you're asking for trouble. Just no.
Hell no, man. They gave it to a child, and a child,
They put that on themselves, man.
As soon as they saw it, they're like, "Oh, well, how did they get that big?" Rats, bullshit, bro. Bullshit.
No.
Like rats. The spider was like less than a quarter size. Rats. All right, it's time to torch that shit now. It's time.
Exactly. As soon as it gets twice as big, you're gone.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, like it shouldn't have grown that big that fast. Like it couldn't have been weeks or whatever, right? Like as soon as you, this thing could actually, you know, eat my arm. No,
right?
Torch it. Get the. Where's my katana at? Where's my katana at? It's around here somewhere. Torch it, whatever. You know, katana slice that shit in half, and it even. It might even be pregnant, so definitely torch that shit. Torture to death, so you don't see it no more. It's toast, right? Yeah. Oh, oh my gosh.
For real.
I go vacuum now. Yeah, man. All right, here we go. Right here. Abigail.
Abigail. Oh boy, that title, whenever it's a title, when it's just a name, like that just makes
Of a white girl, a small white girl. Yeah, the small white girl movies are always scary.
we're about to find out, I guess.
Let me see. I could be thinking incorrectly here, but I think this is like a playoff, like a sequel of Interview with the Vampire. I think this is like a horror spinoff of that.
Vampire on my ass!
Abigail, huh? Now that's the trailer I need to see.
Yeah, I agree. The second trailer was way more informative than the first trailer that we watched. The first trailer didn't tell you anything. It's just people just got murdered. So,
It was a horror movie, and now I'm seeing this, and I was like, maybe it's like a thriller.
yeah, it's more of like a thriller movie kind of thing.
I'm liking it. Yeah, hell yeah. And I think I'm gonna look into this, but if this is a spinoff on like Interview with the Vampire, like that sucks too. Like if you know anything about like vampire lore, I mean, typically I think like vampire lore, it sucks to be a vampire and look like a kid, basically. Like, would you ever want to be a vampire and look like a kid? Like,
because then you just stuck like that.
Yeah, you 13. You gotta be 13 like for the rest of your life. So every other, if you decide you want to do something, have a family or whatever, like that is going to be a weird situation. Like it's just weird outside of like, and vampires are already like weird. Like the deeper you go into like vampire lore, it just gets weird. Like they're weirdos anyways, but at least some vampires, incest, you got it's just parties of like every different type of sex, which isn't, people have their preference, but vampires, they get crazy, they like blood, they play with blood, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I think this is a good step and a good step forward for bringing vampires back in 2024. Hopefully they expand on this and I'm looking for another Interview with the Vampire. That would be absolutely amazing. And I want to say it was Nicolas Cage who played wasn't Nicolas Cage who played in the initial Interview with the Vampire? Let me see.
I believe you're right.
With the vampire actors.
Actually, no, I think it was
oh no,
it wasn't Nicholas. It was what's his name?
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, yeah.
My bad, yeah. Both good looking gentlemen. All right. Next up though, I think we extended this a little further than I thought.
Oh yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is getting the last Ronin film. Coming sometime. It's going to be rated R. So that is that's interesting for sure. It's supposed to be a live action film as well. And one thing I've been trying to figure out, like we know with the last Ronin, 3 of the 4 turtles are killed, and there's only one turtle out of the 4 that's remaining. So I've been wondering like which turtle is it that's going to be in the film, because they never revealed that piece yet. I think it's something that's been that they're keeping a mystery to reveal within the film.
It just makes sense for me because I think Michelangelo was like the youngest, right?
I don't know if Michelangelo is the youngest, but he is the cheeriest of the four turtles.
I think I feel like there was some type of like lore that Michelangelo would be like they would try to save like him for last, and then he would be like the one that would eventually become like a little darker or have like a complete character flip. And in a sense, he'd just become darker. Is that, would I be mistaken in that assumption?
No. That is something that happened within the lore. There's actually a comic, I believe, and they could be adapting that in some way, where all the other three turtles died, and then he was the last one remaining out of the four, and he took on their weapons as well.
Yeah,
so I can see that twist, because he's the most I want to say naive or kind of innocent of the group.
Yeah.
So I could see them, taking that direction where it's the innocent one that, he has to hold up the weight or get a bit more serious. Whereas I would hope it would be either Michelangelo, if that's the case, if they're going to go that route, like the comics did, or maybe Raphael, just because he was always the darker one of the group to begin with. I wouldn't want it to be Leonardo, since Leonardo is already, the leader of the group. I think that would be just the typical, kind of go-to option. I don't think that would make for as interesting as a kind of dynamic there with the situation.
Yeah, I feel like he would have a sense of like him being a failure too. Like if he did go that route, if they did go that route, like he just have this understanding and like demeanor that he was just a failure for not, keeping his brothers alive.
Ooh, yeah, I could see that play out too. I could see a situation. Dang, there's a lot of directions they could take it. I think that's why they haven't even revealed who the last one is yet. I could also see a situation where Donatello is the last surviving one. He was the purple turtle, because he was the smart one. He's not the one that is much of a fighter out of the group. Like, you wouldn't think he would be the one.
You think they would keep him alive though?
I think if he gets serious, like having the smart person being the last one alive and actually serious, I think like that's I mean, that would be a big threat for sure. But
for sure, yeah.
I think it would be unexpected though, because even hearing you're like, you think they would keep him alive? Like, I think that would be just unexpected twist kind of thing compared to going to the other ones.
100%. Yeah, I'm thinking now, like, if they did keep him alive, like maybe they could expand, and maybe he would find like, maybe they would work into like a way for him to find like a partner, like a spouse or something, someone to build a family with. That's the only way like I would see them kind of like maybe expanding with his character.
Because I see.
I think that would be like a conflicting aspect of his growth, right? Like, okay, sure, like maybe the death of his brothers is easy for him to kind of, or a little bit easier for him to kind of navigate through, but having a family and the loss of your brothers, and Master Splinter died too, right?
Yeah, Master Splinter is definitely going.
Didn't he like die and then come back at one point, or supposedly die and then come back?
I believe, yeah, that happened. I forgot in which continuity and in which adaptation of the comic that was, because there are so many different versions of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. But there have been situations in which he died and then he came back, and then there have been situations in which he just died permanently from the story. So I don't know what direction they would go with it, but I'm assuming that he would be dead just based on the information that we have already from the film.
100%. I don't see any capacity. Like if all the brothers are dead. Like that's essentially they kind of lived for Master Splinter, so that he could basically, they lived. They were like a huge part of him. But which one would survive without him, or the least? I think it'd be the youngest. No, the one that has some amount of experience with Master Splinter.
Which one would survive the least? Or are you saying which one is most likely to survive?
Is most likely to survive without like any like mental constraints.
Mm.
The Master Roshi and the brothers. I think usually the youngest is the most attached, right? Like that just makes sense. No, I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. I don't know. I can't say for certain. I'm just speculating. This is all my headcanon at the end of the day.
I feel like Michelangelo would take the deaths the hardest if it was Michelangelo to be the last one to survive, just because of the way that his character is represented in most of the continuities.
And so I can see that too. So I think now I feel like there's some type of bias that I have where I just want Michelangelo to be the last standing. Just because like even with that, they could play into that. Like, oh, he took the death the hardest because he was the softest,
Right.
Now he's just like completely 180, like badass. And he was badass before, but now he was fierce, but now he's not fucking around. Like like all the other. No one else. Everyone else was not playing games. Michelangelo would play games a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, that's interesting. Games. Are we going into games before we wrap this up?
Oh yeah. We do have a couple games to talk about. Not too many. The first one is Freedom Planet 2. This one is it's like an 8-bit platformer game, kind of similar to like if you play like the old Mario platformers, or actually no, it's more similar to like Sonic the Hedgehog, like the old one that was on like Sega Genesis, because it moves a little bit faster than Mario. But apparently it's really good. Like it's got from what I've seen, it's got really good reviews from people who played it. It's got like a 10 out of 10 out of like 1,000 people reviewing the game on Steam. So a lot of people like it. It's a little indie drop. So those are always nice when independent developers make a game and they do a drop and their hard work goes successful. So if you're interested in that kind of retro type thing, I would check it out.
Interesting. It's called Freedom Planet. Huh? I think I've heard of this game. Shoot, what's going on? Come on, mouse. There we go. Freedom Planet. Have I had any lag that you've noticed throughout the stream?
No, you're good.
Oh, I think I'm good. I think I'm good to go. I figured it out, guys. All right. So let me. Oh, it was 2 hours. Oof. Okay.
Full speed ahead.
Oh.
Let's walk on the wild side. Super Dog is on the case. I'm ready for anything.
Interesting. It kind of reminds me. I'm sure I'm not the only one who thinks this. What do you think I'm gonna say?
Sonic for sure, 100%.
Yeah, it looks good. I'd play it, and it's on Switch too. Damn.
Yep, it's on Steam as well.
Oh yeah, you mentioned it was a Sonic Hedgehog like game. Okay.
Yeah. It's a lot like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Dang. Oh. Yeah, it looks good. Let's check out the next one here. Withering Rooms. I'm not familiar with this game either, but I hear it's good. So we're gonna check it out.
Time to wake up, Nightingale.
Oh nah. That's crazy. No.
I'm not even sure what's going on right now.
Oh no.
The walls are dripping with blood.
Wretched child.
Yeah, it
Oh
reminds
no, she got murked. Go ahead.
me of a game that I played. I think it was called Fate. Something sort of like Fate, but there's another game where I'm trying to remember. Withering Rooms. What does it remind me of? I feel like I've played a game very similar to this, but it was like on like Game Boy.
It reminds me of a couple games. I can't put my finger on it. But like the horror, like I wouldn't buy the game itself just because like I would do it for my own enjoyment. But the horror aspect of the game, I'm the type of person where like I would get a game like that just because it's funny to watch people's reactions to the monsters on the screen. Like I would get it just to give the controller to somebody. Like, here, play this game, and then something comes chasing them and run and put the controller down.
That's why I ended up getting Resident Evil. Hey, I know them zombies will come out of nowhere. So hey, you take the sticks. You let me know how it goes. I'll watch it.
Exactly.
I'll watch it. Yeah. Oh, okay. So I already know how. Yeah. I know zombies coming from right there, and that
Right?
person's gonna turn into a zombie. So I'm good. Cool. Let me get the six back now.
Right. I used to do that on like I used to do that on Resident Evil 4 on back when I had a GameCube. Like it'd be zombies and stuff popping up out of nowhere. I remember, I think it's Resident Evil 3 was the one where big what is his name? Dang, what is it? Nemesis? No. Is his name Nemesis? The big guy on Resident Evil 3 that just used to bust through the walls chasing you. I remember I would just hand over the controller to people on the levels that I know that he was just gonna bust out of the wall and start chasing you out of nowhere. I'm like, here, you got this. I'll just watch from the side.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up right now because I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Resident Evil 3. Yep.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
Just a sec. Hello?
Hello, why?
Are you okay?
Brad, is that you?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Listen, you gotta get out of there.
What are you talking
What are you
about?
talking
I don't
about?
have time to explain. You gotta get out of there right now.
All right, let me grab my.
You better go.
Yo, what? Yeah, you're done. You're done. Get out of here. Nah, bro. No. Oh, nah, I do ain't gonna protect you from this.
What the hell is that thing?
I don't even know how he didn't knock that door down the first time. Ooh. Yo, I'm ducking. I'm not even in the street. Nah, get out of there. What are you doing? Hell no. Hell no, man.
Yeah. Resident Evil 3 was that game, man. Like there are stages on there where you could just be randomly doing something and Nemesis would just bust out of the wall out of nowhere.
Well, Resident Evil knows how to do horror games. They know how to do horror games. They know how to do movies, but they know how to do horror games. A series, I don't know. But horror games and movies, yes. Speaking of Resident Evil.
Oh yeah. Resident Evil. There's a rumor that Resident Evil 9, when it comes out, it could go ahead and take the open world direction. It seems like, which is interesting considering that they've been taking a new direction each time. Lately, when they do new Resident Evil games, I know Resident Evil 7 was more of the over the shoulder kind of view. And then when they got to Resident Evil 8, it was more of a kind of like contained first person shooter kind of running gun zombie game.
Okay.
So with Resident Evil 9, it's looking like they're trying something new again. So they're going, well, this is the rumor, not confirmed, but it's claimed that they're going in an open world zombie game kind of direction. So I could see like I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm guessing there's going to be a heavy emphasis on survival if they do something like that.
I hope so. I'm all about like MMOs, open world games. That sounds phenomenal. Like open world horror game. I can't say it. I don't know if it'll be. I can't conclude it'll be an MMO, but it being open world, I don't exactly know what that means. Because I think that's generally how the Resident Evil games are. I'd say they're open world. Unless you can just go from, I mean, I don't know what that would conclude, other than like it being an MMO. Interesting.
That's kind of what I think. I'm thinking that if they do go that direction, maybe they're talking about like an MMO with a heavy emphasis on the survival aspect, and they'll probably have a lot of like online multiplayer game modes as well if they go that direction.
That would be absolutely cool. Because I just being able to play the game with someone or invite someone to a lobby and acquire things with someone, like with every new step, or through every area, or maybe, and I think that would be that. I think that would be a very good way to introduce new concepts into Resident Evil series. Yeah, for sure.
It would be cool if I could see a situation where like there's a big open world, but there are different characters in that open world with different side missions, but those missions add up into like a larger story at the end of the day, that as you're finding different survivors and completing different things. But it would be really cool if like on the multiplayer aspect of that, if the other people that are also playing the game can either choose to help you or they can choose to get in your way. That would be kind of crazy. It'd be chaos.
Interesting. Let me grab some. Let me grab something really quick.
Yeah, you're good. Take your time.
All right. I just stumbled into the mic like a zombie, straight up zombie.
No, you're good.
But yo, this is what I got, guys. Boom, 2 copies. 1 Resident Evil. Oh, I can't even show the whole thing. It's not focusing. Focus, damn it, focus. Resident Evil 4. And then I think one of the first Resident Evils come out on Xbox and PlayStation. I have them on PlayStation primarily because I don't know. I want to see games to play on Xbox. But yeah, that sounds interesting. That sounds dope. I also have a final question for you before we wrap this up.
Alrighty.
I want to know for myself and for the viewers, when you're planning to do that Street Fighter tournament, one-on-one with me.
Street Fighter 101. Just hit me up. Hit me up sometime next week about it. Let's plan it for next week. That's gonna be fun.
Next week, okay. So he'll let what'll happen, guys. He'll let me know. I'll drop it in the chat, YouTube chat. Might even post it on of course Discord and X as well. So look forward to that, guys. You guys heard it here first. Yeah.
Alrighty.
I don't know what you're gonna pick, but I'm gonna try to anticipate it.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, I wonder who you're gonna pick, but I just gonna leave it a mystery for now.
I also have UFC on Xbox. Got boxing on Xbox as well. And I'm working to get a PlayStation so I could play Final Fantasy for you guys. 'Cause I want to play it both the new 7 and of course 16.
Okay. Which UFC do you get on Xbox?
Why do you have it?
No. But I can probably cop it if I know which one that you have.
I think I have 5. Let me check. Yeah, man, I got 5.
Okay, 5. Yeah. I might cop that. Yeah, the cool thing that I like about Xbox is it's connected. It's under Microsoft, so you can have the Xbox app on your Windows PC, and you can download games on there, and you can still, as long as you have it's through the Xbox app, you can still play your games that have the Xbox One systems. So always like that aspect of it. So I might copy it from the Xbox store so we can play each other on that as well.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. I like me some UFC, so that's gonna be fun.
I don't play online like that, but I did start like 2 characters, like a male and a female, and I realized that my stuff from story mode didn't carry over, and I was like, "Fuck!"
Oh, dang.
Yeah, it doesn't carry over. They basically restart you from scratch, which is good because it would make sense. It wouldn't make sense if you basically played and like maxed out your character on story modes and try to play against characters use that same level skills acquired on story mode. But yep. This has been the Sing Zone podcast. Thank you guys for joining us. Yeah, thank you for stopping by. If you if you managed to catch this video later time, I had fun, man. This is fun.
It was a nice stream.
Heck yeah. Yeah, look forward to this. More frequently. Of course, we'll be pushing out. Times have been pushed out. We'll drop a video as far as like the next scheduled dates. Typically it's every weekend at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, or is it?
Yep, it's
sorry,
usually 6:30 Eastern. Mm-hmm.
6:30 Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, I was incorrect on that. Yeah, make sure to leave a comment, let us know what you guys think, and we will see you next time, travelers.
Alrighty. Peace.